the top area teams in the world of lacrosse and on the diamond, and see how two ex-big leaguers have put this baseball program back on the map. All straight ahead on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
The Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
Breaks the through tackle. He's going down the right sideline. He's going down.
Today's show is brought to you by the Baltimore area Toyota dealers, Best Buy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Geico, and Papa John's.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. Well, this is it, our last show, so let's get started. We'll begin today with a boys lacrosse showdown featuring top-ranked boys Latin and fifth-ranked Gilman. As expected, this game went right down to the wire. Which team won? Let's take a look.
The fifth-ranked Greyhounds from Gilman trampled on #1 Laker turf looking for the early season upset. And no one would be upset by a lack of scoring. Brandon Schenning gets the Hounds going 1-0. Only to be answered by John Singer a minute later. Just the shape of things to come. Schenning again will rip one past Ryan Lafferty to go back up 2-1. Laker Hunter Lochte then took control of the action with this burner past Jay Pfeiffer, and the scoring action would not let up. Kevin Boland joins the scoring parade, as does attackman Andre Lucas, and Gilman opens up a 2-goal advantage. But the Lakers would not be intimidated. Good stick work and pinpoint accuracy by Dan Berger pulls the Lakers to within 1, but was spoiled when David Finney punched one back of the net. The contest would seesaw back and forth, and R.C. Reed would make it 5-4 near the end of the first period. In the second, Kevin Boland started things off with one of his 4 goals. And Dan LaMonica, who had 2 of his own, sneaks one in the crease. A nice move from behind by Andrew Lucas would pull the game even, but R.C. Reed would give the Lakers the lead and the momentum at intermission. In the third, Boland would get Gilman fired up again with this rocket into the net, and the Greyhounds would snatch the lead by 1. But the never-say-die Lakers came back. Mike Thomas shoots one up top, and the game would be deadlocked again for the 9th time. But in the end, it's the Hounds who would draw the blood. Andrew Ferrone goes unassisted with just over a minute to play for the winning score. Gilman stuns the Lakers in perhaps the biggest rivalry game of the season.
Now let's take a look at some other results on the Geico Direct scoreboard.
In this battle, #1 Roland Park was looking to hold off a talented #2 team from Mount Hebron. Bridget Fronde strikes first for the Vikes, shooting one through for a 1-0 lead. They would add another before Red senior Elizabeth Ryan puts one through the legs of Caitlin Hoffman. Alyssa Trocker puts Mount Hebron up by 2 with this nice dodge and shot into the net. And Bridget Fronde would put the Vikings up by 4 in the first as she fires one home. The Reds would pull within 2 before the half as Betsy Gaines puts one of her 2 goals in the webbing. Roland Park begins to close the gap at 6-4. In the second half, Betsy Gaines got the Reds machine rolling to pull within 1. The Vikings' Lauren Kickham would douse the fire as she eludes defenders for the score. And moments later, with the game even, Melissa McCarthy raced between flying sticks and bounces one past Megan McInnes for the lead. But the Reds would tie it up as Whitney Jamison moves in close for her shot on goal to make a point. But Mount Hebron would get the final say as Annie Collins puts one in the net with a minute and a half remaining to give the Vikings the win over a Reds team who had not lost the game since May 1997.
As a tribute to all of the outstanding athletes and programs we covered this year, we wanted to take a look back at some featured highlights from our Dick's Sporting Goods Big Games of the Week. Remember our first big game back in September? Dunbar squared off against Mount St. Joe and celebrated its first win under new head coach Ben Eaton. Or this whale of a night for Bel Air's Adam Rafalski. He rushed for 181 yards and 4 touchdowns during a torrential downpour. Then number 4 Mount Hebron rained on number 1 River Hills Parade as goalkeeper Greg Peters had the game of his life with 8 spectacular saves in the Vikings' 2-1 upset. A stellar streak of 33 straight wins continued for the number 1 Eagles of McDonough. Vicky Brick scored 22 points in this big game showdown against St. Mary's. And last but certainly not least, the state champion Dunbar Poets got their big game together with a decisive win over the Sabres of Southwestern. It put them on the title trail the rest of the season. Congratulations to all of our schools and athletes who made every game for us a big game.
When we come back, the area's top 2 baseball teams get together for an early season meeting. Number 1, Severna Park against number 2, Arundel is Dick's Sporting Goods' big game of the week. And it's next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Welcome back. While the major leagues have yet to play a regular season game, there was a huge high school baseball game this week. Severna Park was the area's top-ranked team, but the Falcons had a tough early season test against second-ranked Arundel. Severna Park, Arundel is Dick's Sporting Goods' big game of the week. Before we join Dave Goldman at the game, let's meet this week's classroom stars. First from Arundel, we salute Brad McGowan, a senior outfielder who carries a 4.2 GPA. And from Severna Park, we congratulate Tony DeCopel, a senior outfielder who has a 3.1 GPA. Now let's go out to the field for the action.
Two teams expecting to be in the running for a state title had an early season meeting as the number 2 Arundel Wildcats traveled over to Severna Park. The Falcons holding the top spot after rival Arundel lost to Old Mill last week. The action would get underway with Andrew Puglisi at the plate. The bases loaded. And Drew Lines went into right field, good for 2 RBI. The Wildcats take a 2-0 lead. Norris Roy, who went 3 for 4 on the day, would plate another one. This one would end up being close at home. But Chris Fernandez will slide around the tag of Chris Odom. Behind 7-0 in the third, Severna Park's Joe Weidman finally gives the Falcon fans cheering material. He comes through with 2 men on base for the round tripper. The Falcons would add another to make it 7-4. But one good dinger deserves another. Pat Kenny goes deep for a 2-run shot. Severna Park's Derek Dixon shows pop of his own with 3 RBI on the day, including a 2-run homer to close the lead to 9-6 in the 5th. Tony DeCopel adds another one in the 7th as the Falcons start a rally. But it was Arundel ace Andy Kostick who, with relief, would shut down the attack en route to a big opening day win over neighborhood nemesis Severna Park.
There's a big rivalry between the schools, and especially baseball teams, and there's a lot of things on the line when you play Severna Park. Right now, Severna Park is in first place for the all-around sports trophy, and we're close behind, so it's important that we try to finish ahead of them in all sports.
We lost to Old Mill last week, and that hurt us. But today, coming back against Severna Park, we've lost to Severna Park both last 2 years, the first game here. So I think this is a big win. We'll probably get us back on track, start winning some more ball games.
If nothing more, credit Arundel with good timing. Immediately following their mild drop from number 1 to number 2 in the Sun's top 20 poll, the Wildcats found themselves with a golden opportunity to reclaim the top spot in the area, and against their old rival, Severna Park. The Wildcats made the most of the opportunity. Reporting from Severna Park High School, I'm Dave Goldman for the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
Thanks, Dave. As a baseball player, Tim Nordbrook played 6 years in the major leagues. Joe Orsulak's time in the majors, 14 years. So the two clearly bring tons of experience to Loyola High School, where Nordbrook is the head coach and Orsulak his assistant. Let's meet the 2 former Orioles, our Toyota Coaches of the Week.
Every kid is different. Every kid has different tools. You try to bring whatever they have, what they bring out here, you try to bring that out. And we're not rocket scientists by any means. We're merely just passing on things that we were, blessed to have learned from good people, and teaching them, to stay alert, to refine your game, to learn to win. And when you do those two, you'll have fun.
And Loyola head coach Tim Nordbrook and assistant Joe Orsulak are back in the game for the fun of it as well. Both ex-Big League Orioles, Nordbrook in the 70s and Orsulak in the 80s and 90s. Each brings their own style to a Don team that has shot out of the gate early for a perfect record. Tim for his innate ability to teach, and Joe for his all-out work habits.
We're never going to get beat in a game because we're out hustling. If we do, it's going to be a problem. We're not going to let it happen. We want to out-hustle our opponents, play hard. We're not always going to play well, but we're always going to hustle, and we're going to always play hard.
I think it gives them the confidence, you know, the belief that we know what we're talking about, and Joe more so because he's more recent a ball player, and these kids have mentioned that, you know, they watched him growing up and saw he was always somebody's favorite player.
And Tim's favorite part of being back at his high school alma mater?
Nothing compares to the feeling that I get now with the help of helping the boys and the fun of just going back to where the roots were good and you just wanted to play hardball.
Congratulations, coaches. Now let's meet some of the area's best student athletes.
Coming up next, it's the Best Buy Cheerleaders of the Year. Don't go away. We're coming right back.
Now it's time to honor our Toyota male and female athletes of the week. The female winner is Sabrina Riles of the Spalding softball team. Not only is Sabrina a top pitcher, but she also hits over 400. And the male winner is Connor Ford, a junior on the St. Paul's lacrosse team. Connor led the Crusaders as they won the recent St. Paul's Invitational. We salute Sabrina and Connor, our Toyota Athletes of the Week.
Spalding, we're really committed here. We work hard all the time. We're always working, practicing, having games. And if we're not practicing, we're always together as a team. So I think that hard work and dedication will probably take it to the next level, help me be successful at the next level.
And the level where senior Sabrina Riles is at this time can't get much higher. Last week alone, Sabrina struck out 14 and did not allow an earned run in 2 Catholic League victories. Not unusual for this 3-time All-Metro pick who likes to take control.
I think that when they need somebody to step up, they look for me. And for somebody to know what's going on in the game and help move the game along, they look to me.
I think her maturity is a great asset to the team. She's a leader, a quiet leader on the field. And I think it gives the team a sense of security, just having her out there.
And what's the one word Sabrina would use to describe herself?
Talented, because I handle a lot of different things. I play lots of sports. I'm involved in a lot of different things, and I usually do them to the best of my ability.
Here at Spalding, Sabrina Riles is comfortable in her position as a team leader, while Connor Ford carries out his role at St. Paul's.
My role on the team this year so far has been just when we get the ball on offense to control it and make sure we get a good shot.
And junior attackman Connor Ford has been getting his fair share of good shots so far this season. Last week alone, Connor scored 3 goals against Loyola, 6 against a team from Illinois, and 5 against Haverford in Pennsylvania.
Been getting the ball a lot more than I have in the past 2 years, but people have been finding me when I'm open, and luckily I've been putting them in.
He's become more of a leader. He's a quarterback of our offense, calls the plays out for us, settles things down when we need to, pushes the tempo when we want to do that, which is part of our style. Connor's a shooter. He has one of the hardest shots in the league.
And considered one of the hardest workers on a team who boasts a perfect record, Connor's goals are simple.
The only goals I really have for lacrosse are that we win our games, you know, and so far we're 6-0, so things are going good.
Congratulations, Connor Ford and Sabrina Riles, our Toyota male and female athletes of the week.
With this being our final show, we would like to honor our Best Buy Cheerleaders of the Year. And they are the Lady Patriots of Old Mill who are here today. Welcome.
Hi.
Now, some people don't realize the amount of work that cheerleaders put in. How many hours a week do you put in?
About 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, not including game days.
Well, on behalf of the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show and Best Buy, we'd like to present you with this plaque as the Best Buy Cheerleaders of the Year. And since you're here, we'd like you to introduce our next segment, so take it away, ladies.
Now it's time for the Best Buy Plays of the Year on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Yeah!
Next, ladies, Harvey McSpadden of C. Milton Wright kicks off our Plays of the Year with this 90-yard touchdown sprint. Or how about this unbelievable catch by Dunbar poet Terrell Henderson? He'll go over the shoulder to haul it on in. Now let's go courtside for this Steve Johnson buzzer beater to send this Towson Catholic showdown into overtime. Only to be outdone by Donnell Dobbins of Forest Park. He'll launch this rocket, draining nothing but net. How about this move to the net by Angie Creek of Mead, who goes underhand with the reverse for the deuce and the foul. But the outstanding play of the year belongs to Spalding. Derek Snowden goes sprawling for the ball. He saves it to Darren Johnson, who feeds to Tremaine Robinson for the outstanding play of the year.
It's the Papa John's featured student athlete next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Welcome back. On the Westminster baseball team, Mike Taylor can beat you in many different ways. At the plate, Taylor hit over 500 last season. And on the mound, Taylor has a fastball that's been clocked in the upper 80s. Let's meet Mike Taylor, the Papa John's featured student athlete.
Mike is an exceptional ball player. He's, you know, a rare find. You know, you come across this type of athlete maybe once every 10 years or so. I mean, in terms of the qualities that he possesses, just the exceptional arm strength that he has, the type of ball player that can hit for average as well as for power, above average speed. It's a rare find to find a kid with that much, you know, talent. You don't come across that often.
And it's rare to find someone who has maintained a 3.1 GPA in the classroom, taking college prep courses while faced with the challenge of stuttering.
I've had it all my life, and I mean, yeah, I get frustrated over it. I mean, it's a little awkward. I mean, people respect it, and they don't laugh at me if nothing's on that. That's always nice.
Mike Taylor has faced challenges all his life. In fact, he meets challenges with his speech every day. But Mike is no stranger to hard work. He has even surpassed his own expectations both in the classroom and on the field.
We're in there 6 hours, working in the classrooms and all that. And after that, I come out here, relax a little, mess around the field and all that. Go home, work on the homework. That's about it.
He leads by example, and these younger kids look up to him, and he knows that, and he's willing to burden that upon his shoulders to say, hey, I'm going to be a leader in this situation, and I'm going to lead by example, and I think he does a great job of that.
But the job Mike has done on the diamond has not overshadowed his studies, which earned him a 4-year scholarship to the University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
I've worked through it all, and now I have a pool ride in the college now. So academics is first.
Thanks, Elena. Well, that's a wrap for our season of the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. We'd like to thank all of our viewers for making our first season a success. Make sure to watch for our return in the fall, and don't forget to read the Sun each week for its continued coverage of high school sports. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. Enjoy the rest of your school year, and we'll see you again in September.